The college football experience weekend bombs edition for the week 13 college football slate on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is offering new users a $1,000 risk-free bet. Sign up today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Week 13 bombs. And folks, C Block. The C Block is here back-to-back days. Unbelievable. You're welcome, world, as we give you the college football bombs followed by the bottom line bombs. Yes. You're seeing it on the screen. If you're watching youtube.com/the college experience, perhaps you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. That's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, AKA Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, this is what you live for. The Iron Bowl, the Egg Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan, the Apple Cup, the Civil War, the Dust Bowl. You got Farmageddon. You got everything great going on this weekend. Let's talk all about it, folks. I am joined by my co-host for this weekend bomb edition. He is the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. They call him the man in the box. I give you CJ Sullivan, the bet detective.
Hey, Kobe. Also, Tech Savant wallpaper, the Wizard of Wallpaper, the thing. Great to be here. This is it. Thanksgiving weekend. They left us alone. Everyone took off on their journeys, their families and people that love them and trips. And here we are giving bombs and picks.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, perfect with your stuffing, your potatoes. Now, let me ask you this, buddy.
Yeah.
I love Thanksgiving. What is your top go-to on that Thanksgiving table? If you have a perfect world where all the Thanksgiving shit is out there, do you go for the turkey? Do you go for the cranberry? Do you go for the sweet potatoes? Some people love the sweet potatoes. Well, ambrosia. You ever had that marshmallow salad shit they do?
Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. They get too complicated. We're talking Thanksgiving. You're talking sides, basically. You know what I mean? Turkey. That's standard. That comes with it. You talk turkey, we're getting turkey. Some people toss ham in there and chicken. I don't mind. That's not even important. It's the sides what's important.
Yeah.
But I think you definitely need the turkey, of course, for a base. But I like to keep it basic. I mean, there's not too many times in the year where you can get that stuffing mashed potato combination with gravy. If people want to go in, but I'll police some sides. I'll get some of that shit out of there. You can't make too many rookie mistakes with the weighing it down. I have a controversial take on mac and cheese. I don't think mac and cheese belongs on a Thanksgiving table.
Woo, I can get on board. I mean, look, I love mac and cheese, but at the same time, it's not something I really seek on a Thanksgiving afternoon.
Listen, everyone loves mac and cheese. I got nothing personal against mac and cheese, but go back to the barbecues where you belong. I already got enough weight coming down in here. I have to be able, I need to be able to get back to this table for seconds. So mac and cheese, we could knock you out.
I'm a big stuffing guy. You know what I mean?
Love
you load
stuff.
up the stuffing. It's fucking fantastic.
You do gravy on the stuffing?
Yeah, man. I load up. I mean, if it's available, yeah. If not, I'm not complaining. Not complaining. If not, but there's different. That's what's crazy too. Is we can go further in that conversation because stuffing is very different depending on the households you go to. Some will throw fucking sausage in there. Some will have
That's what I'm
celery.
talking about.
You ever had the
I don't
celery?
want it. I don't want Aunt Carol getting too creative with the stuffing recipe like
Yeah.
last year. It was a fucking disaster. Enough time has passed. Get that shit out of here. You keep it with the basics.
Yeah,
When you start
yeah.
getting, throwing a wild, who knows? Like sausage I'll take, but still, you're still pushing it with that.
Yeah, yeah. And look, you don't need to overthink your Thanksgiving. All right, folks.
Right.
Just
point.
like these college football, TV execs, don't overthink it. We want the Apple Cup, the final game of the year, the Civil War, Army, Navy, all that good shit, Iron Bowl. We want it all. Egg Bowl. It's going to be fantastic.
I love the Egg Bowl.
Now, folks, if you're listening, we have already touched on tonight's action on yesterday's episode. But in case you're looking for that.
And we were way ahead on that line, by the way.
Yes. We rode all over on Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl on Thursday. Parlayed that with Eastern Michigan against Buffalo. That was a separate play, and then I went Western Michigan on the play there. What'd you end up doing on that one?
Let me see.
They're getting 2.5 now. Yesterday was 1, I think 1.5.
Yeah, it's at a flat 2 now. I can't do it. I mean, I get it. I get the spot and all the situation, but Bowling Green has just been a cash machine all year. I love it. I mean, why jump off now? If it derails, it derails. I don't care. But I'm going down with Bowling Green -2. Let's get it done.
There we go, folks. And if you aren't familiar with college football, Black Friday, always a heavy college football day. I don't think it's as good as, surprise, surprise. I'm on the side of the old school Black Friday because we had Texas A&M, and Colorado, Nebraska. It's still decent. It's packing a little bit of a punch. I know the NFL is coming for college football, loading up a Friday game. You filthy motherfuckers.
Yeah, but they are having a barely college level quarterback playing in that NFL game. So that's okay.
True.
So they are pretty nice about that.
All right, we're going to get to all that. We're going to get to Friday and Saturday's action. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is your world's favorite sportsbook. It's trusted by over 88 million players worldwide. They got props, sides, totals, and live betting. Yes, Bet365 has you covered, folks. Sign up today and choose from 2 bonus offers, either a $1,000 no sweat bet or bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets. Just head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. Problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, folks, let's get to some bombs. The biggest, dude, I actually think this is the biggest underdog card of the season. I know week 1 can also be like that. If I was going to argue any other one, it'd be week 1. But I see a lot of opportunity here. You got teams fighting, and there's still something to play for. Because if you find a 5-win team, even a 4-win team, because history tells us that, they'll normally get a couple 5-win teams into bowl eligibility. So there's something to play for there. And then you have other teams that can't reach their conference championship, that are still a good team, but they might not have the motivational edge. So and then just when you add in the rivalry factor, I think there's just a shit ton of money line plays available here. Some of the biggest on my card. I mean, I'm not gonna take Georgia Tech,
but they do fit the bill.
They are a bowl team.
Yeah.
It's a sneaky spot because Georgia can lose that game and it doesn't affect their SEC record.
Doesn't bother them one bit.
Yeah. Can't go that. I'm also not going to go with Coach Prime. Shedeur Sanders, questionable in Salt Lake City. I think they've kind of punted on the season. I think Utah is going to drill them. So those two I'm scratching off the list.
Yeah, I looked at now. Do they need to win to get bowl eligible? Colorado, is that what that is? Or
no, to get 5 wins. To get 5 wins. Now, theoretically, 5 could get you in, but it's unlikely.
It's still not happening. Like you said, like I don't even think those guys have ever played more than 6 games. They're all like transfer portals. You know, they're all kind of they're exhausted, and like with Sanders out, they're done.
Now, when we did our previews, we did kind of like Temple's chances against Memphis Friday at the Lynx. Boring ass crowd. After Thanksgiving, it's probably going to be cold.
This is a trip to Maine game for sure. Whatever.
Memphis can't make their conference championship. This is a situation where, I mean, look, I know Temple's not playing for anything either, but when you have 2 teams not playing for anything, it's cold. Memphis probably not used to that cold. I know it's only 11.5 point dog, but I wouldn't be shocked at plus 340. We ride with the Temple Owls. Let's go.
Just when I thought I was out, Temple brings me back in. It comes full circle.
I mean, we're just basing that off of
right.
You know, the situation. That's all situation.
That's a nice double-digit dog, though.
There's a lot of double-digit dogs. This episode might run a little late because I see a lot of opportunity out there. I will take you. Oh, I don't know if you have any you want to fire away right now, but I have a shit ton. I will take you to the Iron Bowl. What if I told you? First off, with this spread currently sitting at 14.5, 15, only twice in the past 23 years would have Alabama covered this.
Wow.
And have you know, Alabama, even in the Brian Harsin era at Auburn, struggled. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a classic game of like, if you just think Alabama's going to run through Auburn, I think you're fucking crazy, because there's something about when they play on the plains. It's like the whole fucking city gets up, and let alone Hugh Freeze's track record against Saban. I think he's 2-3 all time, and Ole Miss's talent level is not very good compared to Alabama's. So I'm all over Auburn. I'm even going to sprinkle a little bit of that money line because the practice is going to be hard after losing to New Mexico State by 3 touchdowns. Close out your season strong. What do you make of this one?
I love it. It was a perfect look ahead game for Auburn last week with a huge upset, which you were on with the Pissers, New Mexico Pissers all over Auburn there. That was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the Iron Bowl. There's nothing more to be said. So, and this isn't this is even like, I know Alabama's playing their best football, but still, this isn't like even those great Saban Alabama teams that would be rolling 30, 40 points a game. I mean, beating teams by that anyways, let alone for this game. So I know Auburn's a little bit down, but yeah, 14.5 is way too many points for this. Roll damn Tide, burn down Kumis, poison those trees.
Yeah, I was telling Kramer, if he picks Bama, I'm going to go poison his fucking trees. Let's go. I really believe you got to take the points.
My favorite college football story in the last 20 years, easily. Poison the trees. And he calls into sports talk radio like, oh, hey, buddy, I think that's a felony.
It's like, is it?
Whatever. Roll
he did jail time. He did I think he did like 2 years jail time.
Yeah, he had a record if he did. Shocker.
What do you make of this one? Okay. And I'm not saying, I mean, I think they will cover. BYU's getting 17 in Stillwater. Oklahoma State, they win, they clinch. They still could make it if they lose, but they win, they're in. What could go wrong with bringing in a team full of 30-year-olds? I think BYU can cover this. I know we ate shit on our Houston pick last week. What are your thoughts about the Cougs up there in Stillwater?
BYU. The only problem is with that kind of they put it all. They need a win for bowl eligibility. They're sitting at 5, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like they put it all into that Oklahoma game last week. Senior day, they're bringing out their 12-year-old kids with them. You know, I'm the dad. I'm the parent day. You're not supposed to be the parent, fucking Mormons. Anyway, but because of that, I think they might not have such as a letdown as your normal average college age kids, if you will. And they're playing football. First of all, 17 is just way too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these teams are closer in score like all year, I would say. I mean, I think, how about this one? SMU has clinched. Well, I guess theoretically they could. There is a scenario, I think, with points where I thought they've clinched for like 9. They're pretty much like 95% there.
Right.
Navy and these triple option teams have a history. Patty C was really hip to this, of fucking up Texas football teams because they all go air raid these days. Once Leach came down there, every high school switched to the fucking air raid. You know what I mean? Every team. And when these triple option teams come in there, I think it was Army beat the piss out of Houston, like 70 to something, like when they had Tom Herman and they were rolling.
Right.
And I want to say Navy and SMU might have a couple of these. I'm quickly doing a deep dive there. And Navy's playing for bowl eligibility. So what do you make of the midshipmen?
I looked at that. I wish I didn't watch as much as that Navy ECU game of your Pirates last week. So I wish I had that image out of my mind, because that's not how you're supposed to play Navy. You're not supposed to look at it. You're just supposed to believe it. Yeah. But yeah, I love these. There's a whole slate of teams playing for bowl eligibility this week. That doesn't automatically mean they're a tail, but it's great. It's a myth that there's no extra motivation to last week of the season. You know what I mean?
And here's, I think, Patty C's point. So SMU has won 3 straight.
Okay.
But they won by 6 last year in Dallas, 40-34. The year prior, 31-24, SMU gets it done. Mm-hmm. In the COVID year with no fans and Navy had like restrictions on practicing more so than most schools.
Yep.
They lost by 14, 51-37. But my point is, you go back, Navy puts up points on these. They scored 75 against them in 2016, right? I get Patty C's point there. I think you got to take the points with the midshipmen there, plus 18.
Love it.
As far as a money line play, why not? Sprinkle a few bucks.
Now while you're there, you sprinkle a little bit of that in there. I got one that's a playoff, fighting for a bowl eligibility and for a team that we love to fade, even though it hurt. Sometimes they get it, sometimes we don't. That's TCU getting 10 versus Oklahoma.
Love this play.
320 on the money line. I want to go with that anyway. But TCU needs this bowl. Needs it for bowl eligibility. Does Oklahoma need this one coming down there?
Well, they're playing for the Big 12 championship, but I would argue that they're just not that good.
Yeah, I mean, like they should have lost last week to BYU, flat out.
Yeah. I just feel like every game within the Big 12, the gap is like that small. If they're better because they're at home, it's only by a little bit. I love TCU as a money line play. I've already bet this, plus the points and money line play. I like it more than the ones we've mentioned, I think, for the most part. I mean, Auburn would be the one that I think TCU is more likely than Auburn to win it outright, but I still think Auburn, those games are always fucking insane. So like you should sprinkle that. Yeah. But yeah, I love this play. Love this play here, especially Dylan Gabriel. He got dinged up. Surprise, surprise.
He did.
Yeah, he got dinged up last week. So there is that as well. Let's go to Arizona.
Oh, you're coming to my territory now, baby.
Arizona is playing. The Wildcats are playing. So there is if Oregon State can beat Oregon in the Civil War,
all right,
and Arizona beats Arizona State, guess what? Arizona's going to the Pac-12 championship. However, if you haven't caught up to the Dust Bowl, first off, these games are always pretty fucking great. Yeah. Back to the days of Chuck Cecil taking back like 109-yard interception return for the game winner with like a minute left.
Yes. Chuck Cecil bleeding from the forehead. Chuck Cecil.
Oh yeah.
This is one of my low key favorite rivalries of the rivalry week of the Territorial Cup out there.
Oh yeah. They fucking hate each other.
Yeah,
too.
they really do hate each other.
Even this offseason, Kenny Dillingham, who is a former ASU grad, he grew up in Arizona, taking shots at Arizona publicly, not hiding from it. This is what's interesting here is like Arizona State, tough first year, but in a way we kind of expected that. But I will say they were more competitive at least before that last Oregon game. And in hindsight, I look at that Oregon game and I go, this was a look ahead. Dillingham's an Arizona boy through and through. He was probably looking to the Dust Bowl, Territorial Cup.
For sure. And it was kind of a punt, going against Oregon. They just had a big win at UCLA, and they've been playing good ball. That Oregon was a tough spot for them.
Yeah. So I think we ride the the Sun Devils. The fake tits will be bouncing. The sun will be shining.
Absolutely. Tanning salons, fake tits, neon lights, and body shots.
It's in Tempe.
Absolutely. It is in Tempe, down south. That's what Dillingham tells his boys. There's 11 games in the season, then there's the team down south week.
Hey, James S. in the chat. He goes, we do. Phoenix don't like Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Let's go. I love it.
They hate each other. And what they don't, and one of my favorite things about rivalries is like you get these, this town hates that town, and what they both don't understand is they're all terrible, but they don't realize that. All of Arizona is an unlivable hellhole. But I love it down there. I love the people that they get after it. They get party and they get angry. It's lawless out there too. I went to a shooting range in Arizona one time. They let us in the back. The VIP fired a fully automatic shotgun. Unbelievable. Blowing cannonball, ripping the cannonballs. It's
the bet detective with some high priced firearms.
I mean, you can
go right.
I got a guy who can get you a few good bump stocks, if you know what I mean. Gets you that Vegas shooter stuff. They don't care in Arizona.
Plus 340 money line. That's all I'm saying.
Plus
340 money line.
Plus 10.5. You got to grab that.
Grab that.
Since we're going to go, let's go a little bit bigger. Let's go up to that apple. Let's go up to that Apple Cup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a great fucking spot. What a great fucking spot.
Now, I do think this Washington team is disrespected a lot, for a team that's for their resume, but their eyeball test has not passed well the last couple of weeks, even though they won at Oregon. I mean, they're winning these games, you can't put anything past you. They should have lost at home to Arizona State, to my Devils. But point is 16 to Washington State. Now, I know Washington State lost their way a little bit. They kind of had to get right. They're back. They got to get right versus prime. They're back in there.
And they're playing for a bowl game.
And you're playing for a bowl game, for a team, and this would be very Pac-12 for everyone to fall apart during their best season of all time as they're going to fall apart. This is what the Pac-12 does. They look like they're going to have one or two guys in the playoffs, and then they all lose at the end of the season.
Yeah, and can you imagine the fuck you? Like, this is why this weekend is even better than traditional years,
right?
Because
as they leave the conference,
yes,
get the fuck out of here.
The amount of fuck you from Washington State and Oregon State potential this weekend, or Texas Tech against Texas. Final time they'll probably play each other.
Let me see. Let me just see real quick with that parlay. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll be tossing some beavers in there too while we're at it. But let me see what we got there. I mean,
you know what might be better than the beavers is Texas Tech.
Yeah, no, I have Texas Tech on the list. I actually don't believe in the Beavers. It's too much. I think Oregon's going to smoke them, but I do have Texas Tech in there. Same line, plus 13, plus 395. That's pretty nice.
I mean, all those rivalries. I know TCU Oklahoma isn't as much of a rivalry, but it's still an opportunity to say fuck you out the door. Mm-hmm. But the other three are big time rivalries that have happened over the years for a long time, and they're getting fucked over financially. And, they're especially Oregon State and Washington State, their future is unknown as far as where the fuck they're going to end up. What a great opportunity to say fuck you to them. And that's why I cannot wait to watch all of those games. Let's talk about the Civil War here, because the Civil War, Oregon State, they beat Oregon last year.
Yeah.
Now, this is in Eugene. Last year was in Corvallis.
Now we got a problem.
Yeah.
Now we got a problem.
I think that's the real.
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
That's the real issue here. But at the same time, Oregon has kind of been a team that has been like, I don't know. Nix has been very efficient passing, but I also feel like they can bang this year a little bit. Oregon State's, that's their game. They like running between the tackles and like so. I mean, I'll take the points for Oregon State to cover. I doubt they win outright.
All right.
But you never know. Oregon's kicking situations trash, so you never know.
And their coach loses his mind occasionally in big games, so who knows?
Yeah, randomly go for a 4th and 5 first quarter. Yeah.
Real quick, this is just for the records here. We'll cut up the clip later on once this hits, but a 3-team money line parlay of Texas Tech, Washington State, and our Sun Devils of Arizona State pays 134 to 1. You put $15 on that, you're getting 2 dimes right there. That's
Oh
nice
my
Thanksgiving.
God.
And then you can
Let's
be
get over
thankful,
there.
and you can be thankful for the C block for the Bet Detective in Dundee giving out gifts, giving out early gifts this holiday season. I just put it in myself.
I love it. I love it. And let's talk about that Texas Tech game because Texas, I think, first off, this might be the greatest run of all time. I just want people to know that Texas, I was doing the math on this. So wait, Daniels got knocked out against Rice. Or I'm sorry. So like they had a backup quarterback they faced in the Rice game. Mm-hmm. They had a backup quarterback the entire game starting in the Wyoming game. That's 2. Baylor 3. Kansas 4. Oklahoma, they had a starting quarterback. They lose. Then they take on Houston. They probably could have lost this game had the refs not just that was a starter. BYU was a starter. K-State was a starter. But then TCU backup. Iowa State backup. And they end the season against Texas Tech backup. That might be the greatest. Think about this. You have 12 college football games. That is what? 7 of your 12 opponents with backup quarterbacks?
They are a lockbox squad. And I will give them the last week they actually, even though it's a tight game, proved something. That was a hard fought win with the backup running back and all that. But yeah, they've had a lockbox streak leading up to it. Not just with backup quarterbacks, but the way they play those games. They should have lost 3 of those games easy.
Well,
I think on the top of my head.
And here's why I like Texas Tech. Baron Morton, who's the backup there, started a bunch of games last year. Mm-hmm. So it's not as bad as some of the other ones. Then Brett Yormark at a Big 12 dinner, I think this year. I said that, Texas Tech, please win against Texas the final week of the season. This has been, it's been out there for all off season. Right. Then you got Joey McGuire, Texas high school coaching legend, taking on Steve Sarkisian. They beat him last year. This is the final opportunity for them. And I really believe Texas Tech can actually bang with them a little bit. So I think they're alive at plus 380. And the fact that they can ruin their rivals' fucking season. This is you can't ask for a better situation.
Yeah, I know. There's so many of these, and they're all great. Yeah. And this is the season ruiner parlay. I mean, it just seems primed for it. We've been waiting for it every week, and I think this would be the perfect way to finish it off. And I think you're right. Texas Tech is it takes a Texas team to knock Texas off. They're not going to be fucking around now. Right now,
you got to be Texas tough. You know what I mean?
Texas tough.
Can we also talk about? Well, that's a yapper. Hold on. Let me see if
you want a monster one.
Are you going to say Vanderbilt?
No, but I do like Vanderbilt. I do like Vanderbilt plus the points, though. I do like Vanderbilt plus the points, but I will not sprinkle them on the money line.
What type of monsters are you looking at?
This monster, I mean, the line's just as big, I think. But I think they have a legit chance of winning this game. For the money line. We're looking at a 12.50 money line here, so you gotta take a little leap of faith.
Is it in the great state of California?
It's in the great state of California, and that's the educated ones. This is the wine and cheese bowl up there. The Stanford Cardinal getting 26 versus the Irish. Come on,
they beat them outright last year.
They did beat them outright last year, and we were disappointed with them last week versus Cal in the big game, But Cal, well, I'll get to Cal in a second. But before that, they were playing much better ball. After the big Colorado comeback, they went off a nice streak of some games where they've been playing some football. And Notre Dame, they're not going to be motivated for this fucking game here coming out here after, especially Wake Forest. They're winding it down.
Another angle that's genius here. So this is probably the Pac-12's final game as a network. The network. Okay. I know that Oregon State and Washington State want to keep that name, but they're not going to employ the network because they're gonna need all the money they can have. They put this game. Notre Dame is probably the most watched college football team. If you were to, I know this year Dion maybe, but they're top 5.
Notre Dame's Notre Dame. No matter what, they're going to be.
They put this on the Pac-12 network. So all those Notre Dame fans. So this is the final Pac-12 network game. Absolutely fucking hilarious because to think that Notre Dame would ever get a Pac-12 network game,
Right.
and then it being the final, it's like the perfect metaphor for what the Pac-12 was essentially.
And the fans won't be able to find the network.
Yeah.
That's been my favorite thing. Them trying to find
great.
streaming services, like Buckeye fans trying to find Peacock and whatever the hell it is. I mean, it's been amazing.
These Notre Dame fans are going to be subscribing to like Russian television, trying to get in there.
They're going to go down to the Elks Club. They're going to hope that's on there, Like Al behind the bar is going to have no clue how to get the Pac-12 network.
It's gonna be great. Gonna be absolutely great. I'm with you though. Let's ride.
So let's
ride.
take it. Stanford
Let's
at
ride.
home, plus the 26, of course, and sprinkle even a little more on that 12.50 money line.
And what is Notre Dame playing for?
That's what I mean. Notre Dame, they don't care about this game whatsoever. Let alone, it's not even, they're pissed. It's not even USC. They're not even going to Southern California. Just go up there, and what are they gonna have? A girlfriend's gonna bother them to take them to wine country up there in Palo Alto. A little trip there, right? San Francisco.
I'm looking at other double-digit dogs. Liberty's at UTEP. No, I can't take that. UTEP's about to fire their coach.
Right, not taking that one.
I feel like an interesting one is Western Kentucky's traveling to the airport. Western Kentucky seems to kind of have quit, and they're already bowl eligible. The airport, nobody goes to the tarmac and gets a dub. Now look,
Nobody does.
They're just playing. I know they can't play for a bowl, but I just feel like that game could be closer. Why not sprinkle a little bit on the airport? Plus 300. Now there's also the Battle of Louisiana going on. I forget what they call this cup, but ULM is taking on Louisiana. Louisiana's playing for a bowl essentially. But ULM has been they're 2-9, but they're like a chippy 2-9. All right. They covered against Ole Miss as they lost 35-3.
All right.
But no, if you go back further, like that, look, they almost knocked off Georgia Southern. That was a 3-point game with a minute left. They lost at Texas State by 1. They've been in some of the, they lost to App State by 1. You're getting plus 400 on ULM.
All right. I'm with you on that one.
Never fade a bout in a big game. Patty C's words. All right. This is what you call a big game. And I think, there's other ones out there like Northern Illinois laying 19 to Kent State. I can't fuck with that one.
Yeah, I can't mess with that one either. I can't don't force it.
Yeah. Troy Southern Miss. Maybe they cover, but I don't know. I'm staying away.
I don't see it outright. I got a couple that are just a shade under double digits. This is where we get to the long card, your long
big,
Labrador dogs.
Yeah.
Unless you want to finish out any more double digits out there.
I do think Central Michigan could be live against Toledo. They're a 10-point dog on Friday. I do think they could be live. Fire up chips. They are in a spot playing for a bowl game against the number 1 team in the MAC coming in to Mount Pleasant. I could totally see them knocking off the Rockets there.
What do you think of A&M?
They're always, yes,
they're always live.
I think, and they seem to give LSU problems.
They do. And they have the defense. At least they have a defense,
So what do you think about Houston getting 13.5 in the moon bounce in Orlando?
I know. Houston.
Now, UCF's playing for a bowl, though.
It's so fun. They are playing for a bowl, and we have gone from. But sometimes I think those lines get caked in for teams that are fighting for bowl eligibility.
That might make sense. I just feel like that spread's a little off. I feel like that's like a 1-score game, but
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean Houston. It's crazy how Houston's become a play every week. It seems like now.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say with your yapper? That was a Labrador there.
Labrador, not quite a yapper. Not quite a yapper. These aren't pups. These aren't pups, but these are nice long dogs. So they'll be on the farm with you.
Oh yeah. Where are you going?
Well, I mentioned it earlier, plus 9.5, so it's just underneath it. And that's our Cal Bears going to UCLA. UCLA. I mean, God, thank Chip. Congratulations. Apparently, he was out in the clubs down in Hermosa celebrating that USC win. all weekend. Only the way only Chip Kelly can, slapping it around. He's living that single Chip Kelly, a run option life. And
I can see him down there, Hermosa. I can see that. I can see
yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely. Fucking, he's got a guy, tie around the head, a couple cougars around on each arm, a couple bar flies,
This is a great spot because the letdown after USC.
Yep.
And then Cal is one of the ones that are being affected financially.
Correct.
By this move. It's the final time UC Board of Regents, they tried to even keep UCLA there. It didn't work out. So it is personal here.
It absolutely. And USC, UCLA, they're the villains of this Pac-12 to the left, at least in their eyes. They are the big dogs that did it. So plus 9.5, plus 270 on the money line. Let's go.
Oh, I love it. And the Rose Bowl's not going to be. Look.
We all know what's happened to Rose Bowl.
First off, Los Angeles is like half empty during the fucking holidays, and
which is amazing, by the way. It's the only time you can drive in this goddamn town.
Yeah,
It's livable.
Yeah, very true. I'm gonna I got another Labrador for you. I got one. All right. This one might be a little bit of a mountain dog. All right. Because so folks, if you don't know the history, we had Clay on. Clay does the first he works the chains for Georgia Southern, right? Mm-hmm. Big time fan. He's a preacher, and he happens to love our show, which is, hey, what a beautiful world we have. And,
shout out to Preacher Clay.
Yeah, and so Clay
working the chains.
We were asking him because Georgia State, started their football program in 2007 or 8, and the State fans say State versus Southern, and Clay's like, no, that's all bullshit.
Okay,
our rivals. If you followed the FCS in the 70s and in the 80s and in the 90s, Appalachian State, Georgia Southern is a heated rivalry. You got the mountains against somewhat of the farming beach areas right outside Savannah, Georgia, right?
Marsh.
So App State just had a college game day win.
Huge one. Like we said, you don't invite those Hill people to the TV party. They will fuck it up.
Now, I'm a little concerned about the weather.
All right.
But when I see Southern getting 9 and App State in a complete letdown spot, I saw a hype video for them returning to Boone, North Carolina after that win.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, they're really loving that JMU win. You know what I mean? They're dancing on the streets, and I'm like, wait, but you got your rivals coming. You got your rivals coming.
The real rivals coming.
Yes. Historically, they're real rivals. And when you add in this, JMU is not eligible to play in the Sun Belt Championship.
Right.
Appalachian State is. Coastal and JMU are playing this weekend. So Coastal's 5-2. They have a tiebreaker on App State. I kind of think JMU is going to beat Coastal, especially off of that loss. Grayson McCall still dinged up. App State can make the Sun Belt Championship unless Georgia Southern knocks them off, and then Coastal goes no matter what. It's a great fuck you moment.
I love it. Season ruiner.
Now, normally I like to fade Clay Helton towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But we take the 9, sprinkle that money line. How's that for a Bernie's Mountain Dog, huh?
That is a nice Bernie's farm dog. I love him sitting on the farm. Just eyeing up those sheep. Doesn't even need to round them up. He just gives them a look, and they know where to file an order. I love that one.
I think we got a few other yappers we're going to be talking about. But before I get there, I want to tell folks out there that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. They got NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, and college football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. I mean, CJ, we're sitting here right now. Let me see if they got some action loaded up here. They normally do. Let's see here. Jump on over to see. This is what great. They got all the sports. Okay, we got that Bowling Green. Oh, let's go EMU. EMU's taking on Buffalo. We're on the Eagles of EMU.
At a great line, by the way.
Yeah, Samson Evans, their running back. Let me talk to Samson. He is higher or lower on 49.5 rushing yards. And one thing I know about this Buffalo defense is they've been trash all year long. I'm gonna go higher with Samson Evans, but we also the thing you got to do is you got to pick a minimum of 2 players from at least 2 different teams. So I got that in. Let's go to the Egg Bowl now.
Okay.
Jackson Dart, higher or lower 2 touchdowns. They're on the road in Starkville. CJ Sullivan, the bet detective. What's your lead here in the old Egg Bowl with Jackson Dart, Ole Miss's quarterback?
Yeah, I know. Jackson Dart, great quarterback, great system on there, but this is the Egg Bowl. Okay, legs are broken. Leg bowl can become. I mean, dirty tactics are pulling out. So, what I'm telling, I'm going lower. I'm going whatever it is lower. 2 touchdowns for Jackson Dart, and I'm playing the elements of the game. I'm handicapping that in there. Who knows what kind of catastrophic injury or whatever happens in this game, that's going on your side. Anytime violence and dirty tricks are on your side, you play it.
Oh yeah, 100%, folks. So what are you doing? You can do this too, folks. And when you sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the college football experience. It's time for the yappers. All right.
Yes.
I'm talking the little Pomeranians. You got fucking, what are the corgis? Corgis, whatever the fuck they're called. They're all expensive. They're like $5,000.
They got the paperwork and everything.
Yeah. They got their papers. They got more papers than half of Los Angeles. Anyway.
We'll get right to that. But real quick, I do want to throw one more, mid-sized dog. This is an Irish collie up in Northeast up there. This is one we predicted back in August. We don't need it, but it was in our, and it was an ace up our sleeve the entire time. We picked this when we did the season totals, and that is Boston College hosting Miami.
Oh yeah.
Now you want to talk about a team that won't give a shit.
100%.
Yeah.
There's nothing to play for here. They already clinched the bowl.
Yep.
They could care less.
they don't want to go up there after Thanksgiving to fucking Boston. Freeze their ass off for that scrappy mop of a team. Actually, I kind of like the way BC's been playing anyway, but give me 8.5 plus 275. Miami's going to phone this in. They already hate their coach.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. The Flutie Bowl, it ain't going to work. Right. It ain't going to work going up to Sleepy Chestnut Hill.
Mm-hmm. But we had this pinned in August, the motivation.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they're not even gonna care. They're gonna care more about going to that fucking Cheers bar than they are.
Right. If not, yeah. Fucking Paul Revere statue. They're gonna get the fuck out of there when they start studying up on what the real history of that city is.
Yeah. All right. I got some.
Now we'll get to the yappers. I just had to bring that up because we both called this in August. You know.
Yeah. 100%. All
right.
Now, I was higher on this before I just saw that Mississippi State might have flown to Raleigh and interviewed head coach Dave Dorn for NC State, but I thought we had a yapper with the Wolfpack, the red hot Wolfpack.
We still do. I mean, why? I mean, what is it's tiny now, right? It's a little. It almost can fit in your hand, fit in your purse.
Little one plus 130.
Plus 130, we'll take it though. I mean, why? I mean, first of all, Carolina is just falling apart. They're just not that good. And NC State is a steam train you don't want to get in front of right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
are we concerned though? If he interviewed, are the players kind of like,
I mean, obviously that always goes back and forth, but they understand that now, especially with the transfer portal. But I think right now, I mean, how can you get in the way of that right now? Their momentum they have.
Yeah. Well, I liked it a lot better before I saw that, but What I do love is the swamp.
Yes, sir.
Jordan Travis singing the blues in the hospital.
Awful. But and ESPN calling it live. Oh God, we did not know that was going to happen. We apologize. Well, Florida State's fucked.
I think the Gators are going to fuck them up, buddy. I know that Graham Mertz got injured, but that is addition by subtraction.
Right.
All right.
That's the quarterback injury they can handle.
This one's a solid. This is like fucking Lassie. This is a Lassie play right here.
Nice hardy dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 10 I'm looking at.
Fucking Shetland sheepdog or some shit. I don't know.
Look. Right. Now that came down too, even with after the news. It was like 9 or 10 that came flying down.
Plus 215.
Love it.
The dogs are barking in the swamp. Yeah, that's one that I feel pretty good about. That I'm gonna ride. You got any other short yappers you're interested in?
Well, then I got one that we also predicted 2 weeks ago. And we said it's not going to happen last week, and we were right. It's going to happen this week, though, and that is for old ball coach Brady Hoke, San Diego State. At home, they're going to send him off the old retirement. We said they're not going to win up there in San Jose. Too much going on.
This one's at the snapper.
This one's at the snapper. Plus 5, 175. It's a nice little medium-sized dog. I do think they send him off with a win here.
Well, and Fresno's been eliminated from any type of Mountain West championship game, so there's nothing to play for. Now, on the other side of that, I don't know if you want to. The train that is San Jose State. Next stop, all aboard, is Las Vegas. They win, they're in.
Jesus, it's amazing. I can't. I mean, these guys have just been pissing all over our faces. UNLV, each week we ask for it and we come back for more. And they said, sure, we'll continue pissing on your face, boys.
Plus 130. Plus 130 for the Spartans in Vegas.
Spartans are hot.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost since like fucking, I don't know, like Labor Day or some shit. I don't know.
Not for nothing. This should be a great game, though.
Since Columbus Day, I feel like they haven't lost since fucking Chris Columbus Day. I think they're live.
Yeah, they're live. Sure.
That's a short yapper. I like other short yappers. I would say you have an opinion of the cum bowl. They call this the cum bowl or the toilet bowl. UConn is heading to UMass. I see Don Brown and UMass plus 120 on the money line right now. At home as they look to cap off a solid 4-win season.
Yeah, I didn't understand this line, to be honest with you.
I don't understand them even making a line for this game.
No, I think UMass wins. I think UMass should be the favorite in this game, to be honest with you. I like this game, to be honest. It is a couple. It is gross. But what is it? Like a 2.5 plus 150? Yeah, give me UMass all day in this game.
Yeah. They're playing for 4 wins. It's a good season at UConn.
Right.
You know, I was thinking Pat Narduzzi might beat Duke this weekend.
Why so?
All the rumblings of Elko leaving.
Yeah, there's some of that.
I don't know.
I don't know exactly right. It's tough. Yeah, I'm staying away from that. Pitt got their win. Pitt got their miracle win last week on that Thursday night game. I mean, they're just so bad. Fuck around with Pitt.
All right. What about Sam Pulled Pork Pittman getting 7.5?
Yeah.
Against Eli Drinkowitz in Fayetteville. No.
Boy. Well, I don't know. I mean, they got the miracle news that they're keeping him as coach. You know, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough buyout money. So congratulations.
Basketball season started.
Yeah, no one's paying attention. So maybe it's what the hell? You can't get rid of me now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on that game. Not really.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna end it with this one. As far as my out of plays after this one.
Okay.
They made Kirk Ferentz a dog. They made the legendary Deacon Hill a dog.
Mm-hmm.
They're catching 2.5 or 3. Matt Rule was just bitching that that Nebraska's not putting enough money behind their football program.
Fuck, ridiculous.
Yeah, just signed like he's getting like $8 million a year. I think I was going to beat Nebraska because Nebraska is not going to be able to run that little Heinrich Harburg offense against this. Now, Iowa did clinch already, so there is that going against.
That's the thing. This game means nothing for Iowa.
Yeah.
That's except for the corn battle, which we talked about, which they like to talk about whose soil is better for corn and whatever dull conversation they have about their farms. So, other than that, they have nothing to play for. Nebraska has everything to play for to get in the bowl. So,
there is that.
That's a tough game. I got one for you though. If you're looking for one,
let's go.
Two actually. I got this one I really like. I like Cincinnati versus Kansas. They're getting 6, 205 in the money line. It's a nice, decent sized dog. Just because Kansas, first of all, you don't know who the quarterback's going to be, and there is becoming a difference.
Yeah,
now they're down to their third.
Third string quarterbacks. Third string quarterback.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
this guy's been playing fine. Here's a stat for you though. Kansas hasn't been a road favorite in the Big 12 since 2009. I mean, and now we're gonna lay a touchdown out there in Bearcat Country. I mean, get the skyline chilling. Doing shots of that. Remember when Oklahoma lineman back when I thought that was a good win? Doing fucking cans of chili for God's sakes. What do you think of that? Third string quarterback on the road? Yeah, no, you don't like Cincinnati.
Cincinnati just looks like a team that's defeated.
Okay,
but I do like this one. Champaign, Illinois.
I was just gonna say that as well.
You talking about a 7-win season for Northwestern, or Illinois playing for a bowl game?
Illinois is playing for a bowl, but I'll tell you what, who gives a shit? First of all, it's a week off there after playing Iowa. Getting beat up. Yeah, Northwestern is just playing good football.
Yeah,
they look good. You know,
I agree. It's kind of came out of nowhere. So. Why not? What is that money line play? What is that?
6 plus 190.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. I mean, I also think Minnesota is going to beat Wisconsin. They're a 3-point dog.
Sure.
At like Centennial Bank or some shit like that. Whatever they call that stadium. Yeah. Anyway, I think they're going to beat Wisconsin.
You don't got to convince me. To fade Wisconsin anymore.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
It's a short yapper. That's what I can do. But that's pretty much all I got. Is there any interest in a late kick?
Yes.
Plus 185 I'm seeing right now.
Ooh-wee. Wow. How late it is. That's all. I love it. I love
it's
waking
on Spectrum
up.
Sports, folks. So good luck finding this. Yeah.
But to answer your question, no, I don't. I think Colorado State's not going to go out there for a vacation. They need this game too, right? Do they need this for a bowl game?
To go bowling. Yeah.
They might. Actually, I like Colorado State as a play, as a small favorite of the hammer Hawaii.
You like the Buckeyes as a short yapper in Ann Arbor?
Oh man, that fucking game. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a tight game. I don't think it's being like the last couple where it gets blown out and just running through it, you know. So I think I like the under in that game. So I'll take 3.5. Why not? But I do like Northwestern. Here's a game. I just want to get your opinion on. It's not a dog. I know we only do dogs here, but this is your famed Courtney Love line. You know where I'm looking at it. So I think I might play just because of Courtney Love angle. And that is Marshall is laying 2.5. To Arkansas State, right?
Well, Marshall's playing for a bowl, right?
They're playing for a bowl. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They look fucking terrible.
And Arkansas State just dropped 77
They
points.
just as predicted, as called here, not that call, but you know we were on them. 77 they dropped. Now, granted, 3 of them were defensive touchdowns and a kick return all in the second half. But still, I mean, 77. They were, but that's a good come down spot. So I see why it is like that. But it's just when you see Marshall being favored in that game, it just smells to me.
Well, that's why I think we take Marshall.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what? It's probably cold as fuck too. Huntington, West Virginia, is sneaky. Really cold place. So
Whipping,
you get these
whipping cold.
Yeah, Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas can get a tiny bit cold, but not like Huntington, West Virginia,
No.
where the meth just drips off the trees. You know what I mean?
What a beautiful poem. Man.
That's it. That's all I got.
Beautiful.
That's all I got.
It. That's all we need.
Folks, the C Block's just getting started. Subscribe to the college football experience. Subscribe to the Bottom Line Bob's coming right up next. CJ's. Well, is that tomorrow? Or
It's
is that
coming up tomorrow. I know. I know. I put up the C Block, and I got it. And I got JC from KC in the chat say, "What's up, C Block?" It's a stretched out, elongated C Block. It'll be tomorrow at noon, though, Wednesday.
After tonight's action in college basketball.
Right.
C Block's going live tomorrow at noon, folks. What are you doing?
I know, that was my fault. I couldn't get the fucking bet detective thing to work, so I had to throw up C Block, and now I got everyone confused.
Yeah, it's okay.
I will say it's worth it though. Tomorrow's show at noon, Bottom Line Bombs. It's a Thanksgiving special. I give out these turkey bombs, and if you like the Halloween, I theme Thanksgiving with all the bombs, and it's gonna be worth tuning into. It's a great show.
There we go, folks. Subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs. Give CJ Sullivan a follow on Twitter. The Bet Detective is available at CJ Sullivan _ on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Folks, we're just getting started though. College Basketball Experience rolling. College Football Experience obviously rolling still. The FCS College Football Experience. Woo! This week the playoffs start. The road to Frisco. And we also have the College Baseball Experience with Noah Fifita, and also the Big 12 Experience with, I mean, you guys, if you're a Big 12 fan, you need to be over there. Even if you're not. Moneyline Mac, Troy Tuning, Rush Bishop, all doing great fucking work over there.
Yes.
Check it all out, folks. Get the SGPN app. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast too. Live from Las Vegas every Friday on VSiN. Until next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot.